We're on. This is a lead sheet. It's a lead sheet. It's the melody, chords, rhythms, key. So if you have a group, you give someone a lead sheet. And it's just a piece of paper. That's all it is. Okay? Lead sheet. It's a piece of paper. It has all the information for a tune. So a bass player can play a bass part. Keyboard player can play chords. Melody player can play melody. All the information's on it. So you need to know what a lead sheet is for this story, because this was funny. So a really good friend of mine, Doug Mapp, we worked together at Rowan, plays great bass. We were working with a small group at a camp or something like that. I don't remember. And the bass player, instead of just keeping time, he was playing all this stuff, all this business. And it was so clouded and so busy. Doug cut the band off and he said, you know, when someone hires a bass player, what they really want is Ray Brown. Which I thought was great, because Ray Brown is one of the great bass players of all time. Every bass player loves Ray Brown. And there are other great ones, Sam Jones, Ron Carter, there's a lot of them. But Ray Brown he's one of the guys. Boom, every bass player loves him. And he was real solid the way he played. So he's like a hero. It's not even worth saying how many people he played with. If you look through 20 jazz records, he's going to be on a couple of them. And he's played with literally everybody. So I'm doing a concert in Kalispell, I'm in Montana or Pocatello, Idaho, or someplace, and you had to go to Denver, and it was winter time, and it was really bad storm. I mean, it was snowing left to right. So you go to Denver, and then you connect to another flight. They put you on one of these 18-seaters, and you fly north towards Canada, whatever this festival was. But it was a jazz festival. It's a pretty big jazz festival. A couple days, and I was doing some little part, playing with some group or something. But people come from all over to do these things. So fly to Denver, have the coat on because it's really cold, and where I'm going is even worse, because the storm that's blowing through the Midwest and the Rockies, I'm in Denver and it's bad. We're flying right into it, and we're going to a town that's really getting beaten by it. So when I make the connection, I get out of my plane in Denver, and then you have to walk. And sometimes when you walk to a connection, you walk to sometimes it's almost a little hallway. It looks like a utility hallway. And then they open up the doors and you walk out on the tarmac and you go up the steps and you're in one of these little 18-seater planes. So when you're at the gate for those kinds of planes, sometimes there is no gate. Sometimes there are just a few chairs by the door in this long hallway of just doors. So I get there and I'm waiting. A couple chairs, maybe about 15 chairs. And Ray Brown, I knew what Ray looked like. And Ray sits across from me. He sits, and I'm thinking, oh my God, there's Ray Brown. Yeah. I was starstruck because he's been on everything. So I introduced myself, Ray, you don't know me, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out we're both going up to the same festival. We're on the same flight. We're on this little putt-putt plane. So, at this time I realized, say hello, talk a little bit, then sit down. In the past I would start talking too much and really embarrass myself, Hey, I have a new saxophone. People, they could care less. But, Ray was real sweet, he was real generous. So I said hi to him, talked a little bit. Then I went and I sat down, and this young guy comes up from Detroit. And he's got this big, heavy jacket on. It's real, up to here, and it's out, and it goes right down to above his ankles. So this guy came from Detroit, and Detroit is cold. So this guy knew it was going to be cold. And come to find out, he's Ray's drummer. So Ray was actually going to meet up with his trio and go play something up in this festival, at this festival. So I'm just watching. Ray's talking to his drummer. The guy's all bundled up. And then another guy comes. This guy comes with a blazer on, just like a blazer, like he would be teaching at some college. It's almost like a blazer with the patches on the elbow, that kind of thing. And Ray's all bundled up, and this drummer's all bundled up, and this guy comes in. He's got a blazer. Well, this is the piano player, and the piano player came from L.A. So this guy's been warm the whole time. He just flew to Denver. He was warm, and now we're at the gate, and we're ready to go outside, and the wind's blowing, and I'm just watching Ray, and Ray's bundled, drummer's all bundled, and Ray looks at his piano player, and he says, "Where's your coat, man? Where we're going is cold. Where's your coat?" And the guy says, "Well, this is it. I'm wearing it. This is my coat." And Ray says, "That's not a coat. That's a lead sheet." Oh man! And the kid's, "Lead sheet? What do you mean?" He goes, "That's a lead sheet. There's no coat. You're gonna freeze, man." It's like, that's not a coat. That's a lead sheet. Oh man! I cracked up. Both the drummer and the piano player. I didn't introduce myself to them yet. They both turned and looked like, "Who's this guy?" But that's not a coat. That's a lead sheet. Ray Brown. Ah. And then when we landed, baggage claim up in, I think maybe it was Pocatello, Idaho. I forget. I got him to sign an envelope for Doug, my friend Doug, who plays bass. You know, and he was great. Ray Brown. That's not a coat. That's a lead sheet.